From an out-of-control truck in Mexico that needed an escort to reach the escape ramp, and a runaway ramp in Brazil that truckers just love crashing into, to a 58,000-pound dump truck in Wyoming that stress-tested the new safety systems, and much more. Here are some of the craziest videos of trucks using runaway ramps. Runaway ramps, also known as escape lanes or truck arrestor beds, are emergency lanes that cars and trucks will use in case of brake failure. They're typically a long stretch of sand or gravel at the end of a downhill section of road. Instead of slamming into something, they let the vehicle's kinetic energy dissipate gradually into the sand. On May 24th of 2017, a big rig driver in Mexico experienced total brake failure. His truck was out of control, sometimes barreling over 100 miles per hour down a steep incline. That's when police arrived and escorted the truck to the closest runaway ramp. Runaway lanes are supposed to slow you down gradually, but a massive truck hauling 100 plus will still hit with substantial force. Look at all that cargo spilled onto the road. Thankfully, the driver seems okay as he climbs out of the cab. We imagine he had a few scrapes and bruises to take care of. Semi-trucks like this use a compressed air system to initiate braking. In fact, the brakes default to the engaged position. That's why you hear that psst sound when a truck gets moving. When drivers disengage the parking brake, all the compressed air gets released. The hydraulic brakes on your car rely on brake fluid to apply pressure. Since you can't run out of air, compressed braking systems are better suited for slowing down heavy trucks. While traveling down I-64 in West Virginia, a local man saw something scary up ahead. Smoke billowed from under a semi-truck as it barreled down the highway, a classic sign of brake failure. Our driver pulled alongside and recorded as the truck bailed into the runaway ramp.
Yeah, he's using truck ramp. Never seen this before. Oh, jeez.
When brakes on a semi-truck fail, they actually clamp down. It's not like when someone cuts the brakes on a car in the movies and the car spins out of control. But if the truck is going downhill, the weight plus the downward force is too much. The brakes literally grind to nothing. They'll usually begin smoking, as seen in this video. On July 13th of 2021, a 58,000-pound sand truck came screaming down the Teton Pass in Teton County, Wyoming. Thankfully, the roads were clear and crews were standing by to help the driver. But there was nothing they could do until he plowed into the steel nets. What looks like a life-saving stop was actually a planned test by the Wyoming Department of Transportation. The driver was Arnold Korbmacher, a professional stuntman with many years of experience. They were testing a new runaway ramp with a slightly different design. Instead of a long sand pit, this one uses a series of steel nets to stop runaway vehicles. It kind of looks like Spider-Man's web stopping the sand truck. The steel nets are attached to canisters in the concrete walls. Inside those canisters are spools of steel netting. When the first set runs out, the next one picks up the slack. But in 2019, a pickup truck carrying 32 logs careened through every net and nearly flew off the cliff. The failure forced the Wyoming Department of Transportation to head back to the drawing board. When they unveiled the new system in 2021, stuntman Arnold was happy to test it. The stretch of Interstate 5 between Santa Clarita and San Joaquin Valley, California, is known locally as the Grapevine. It's named after Cañada de las Uvas, which is Spanish for Canyon of the Grapes. Because I-5 twists and turns through the valleys of Southern California, there are plenty of long downhill stretches. On August 29th of 2016, the California Department of Transportation posted a video showing how important runaway ramps are on these long roads. The frame-by-frame CCTV footage shows traffic flowing smoothly. Then, a white semi veers into the runaway lane. It kicks up a cloud of dust, pulls right, and then jackknifes to the left. It smashes into the cement wall, but the gravel does its job. These ramps are meant to stop runaway trucks due to brake failure. But what causes failure in the first place? Well, most of the time, it's due to improper maintenance. If truckers don't keep up with routine inspections, a mountain of issues can arise. Brakes can also fail if the driver applies too much pressure while going downhill. That's why it takes a lot of training to become a commercial truck driver. There's a runaway ramp in Brazil that does more work than it should. Trucks keep losing control along the same stretch of BR 376, also known as the Coffee Highway. Maybe these drivers were hopped up on a little too much caffeine. What are the odds of two trucks losing their brakes on the same day? Apparently pretty high. The first driver barely reaches the side as another truck barrels down the escape lane. Look how quickly the sand forces it to stop. Later on, a pickup truck peels off the highway and into the same sand strip. The next clip comes from a different escape lane along the same stretch of highway. Watch as this driver kicks up massive waves of dirt and slides to a halt. Back at our original lane, Brazilian crane company CMS hauls another runaway truck from the sand. Look at how the forward momentum bent the top of the cab forward like a giant forehead. Now there's no telling how many lives escape lanes save every year. A runaway truck on a long downward slope is among the most dangerous things in the world. If you enjoyed this video and want to see another one just like it, then be sure to click the link on screen now. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.